If you had to author the Indus Valley report, which you do, what could the next 25 years potentially look like? What would your best thesis be?
I think there's the way we look at it from Startup Land is, one, the fact that you're going to add multiples of the current India in terms of output and economic output is just fascinating, because it's all available for someone new to disrupt, right? So firstly, to be able to talk about, I mean, there are traditional business giants on the stage here, but incremental growth to a new set of audiences is all up for the taking. So I think every sector, especially if it's riding on digital mobility, healthcare, education, there's so many areas of potential disruption and way business models are delivered, unlike how they were delivered before. So, you know, I was joking with somebody, even the country has become so aspirational that even Roti Kapda Makan is being rewritten, right? So it's not about basic essential, but it's aspirational to the next hundreds of millions of people. So I would say somewhere 10 years down the line, you would write an entire set of new consumer brands that have driven on this Roti Kapda Makan equivalent. But I feel if you want to really uplift 1.5 billion, growing at like a crazy pace, the most populous nation in the world, I think the ability to plan like infrastructure, just not building on existing infrastructure, but actually building new towns and cities, mobility to get in and out, right? And then actually provide healthcare, education, financial services at a pace where these people couldn't access it before. Financial services is the fastest because it's all digital. But you can't digitize everything around education and healthcare. And our belief is that unless I say it partly in jest, but partly in seriousness, that you almost have to, conscript people into K-12, right? If the government had money to spend, you almost have to put kids through phenomenal primary schooling if you really want to take the potential of this country and export it to the world.
This transition from being a startup nation to a product nation, and it's not necessarily an easy transition to make.
It is not in conflict.
No, it's not in conflict, but it's not an easy transition to make. Do you believe that we're on the cusp of being able to make that switch?
It's slow, but it's happening. So I was just remarking to one of the jury panel that we, for the first time, saw like a warehouse automation company power American warehouses. We saw a carbon capture company power European plants. Sadly, when they were looking for money for the first half of the last decade, after Blume, nobody gave them money in India. So I think it's a twin problem. One is self-confidence, to be able to say we can go and build against world-class companies on any product. And bizarrely, both these companies were college grads who had never worked a day in their life. So it took them twice as long to prove themselves as managers and leaders and go and raise in the rest of the world. And now is not a time to be underconfident on anything in India, is my view. It's now the time to go and win every sector, because, as Mr. Kalyani said, it's the opportunity of a lifetime that the country has, when every other country is shrinking in terms of talent, population. Cost structures, we just have an enormous advantage. The ISROs of the world are the pioneers, but there are hundreds of such examples. I think our time's coming on all of those fronts.
Thank you for watching us on CNBC-TV18. For all news and updates, subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch us on all social media platforms.